the honor and privilege to invite up to the podium the next speaker. She's the director and head of the nutrition department of the Federal Ministry of Health. She is Mrs. Ladidi K. Bako Ayebusi, FCPA, MIOD, MNI. Please, because of that MNI, you need to clap. It's very rare to see women in Nigeria with MNI, so please clap. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The National Coordinator and Country Director of Rotary RNNCH, my husband, Professor Emmanuel Lufadeju. Good afternoon, sir. Please don't be jealous.
Why not?
Every Yoruba person here is my husband. And that's why I always feel blessed. Because anywhere I get to, my needs are distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's really a great pleasure for me to be in your midst this afternoon to discuss. I've requested that, please, can I move around? And I was granted the permission. We've been talking for the past 2 days about advocacy. I came in and I met the discussion on what are the challenges, how do we go about advocacy, and we've discussed on the role of the media, because without the media, either traditional, social, or new media, you cannot effectively advocate. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, when we have been able to successfully carry out advocacy, how do we sustain it? How do we ensure that the gains outlive we the advocates? How do we hand over the baton to the next generation? Issues around advocacy is not in one-off thing. It is a process. Next please. So I am Ladidi Bako Ayebusi, MNI, the Director and the Head, Nutrition Department, the youngest department in the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, and the heartbeat of the health sector, the heartbeat of all sectors. Yes. Can you kick your vehicle? Can you move your vehicle without fuel? Can you make a call without credit? Can you access the internet without data? Can you be here seated without something in your stomach infrastructure? Even when you are fasting, you take water. Am I correct? Water is a class of food. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the outline of my presentation, please next. I'll define advocacy. Well, I believe that now we are all experts in the definition of advocacy, because for the past 48 hours, we've been talking about advocacy. I'll talk about the sustaining of advocacy. How should we sustain it? Then, when we have successfully sustained, what do we do to build and maintain? How do we evaluate our gains? And are there reasons for us to adjust our strategy, our approach, our targets, even the focus? Next, please. Advocacy. Next. Advocacy is a process. It's an act. It's something you do. You kickstart and you keep oiling it. You keep moving. And as you're moving, you keep adding more people. More people keep coming onto the train, and some people will also be dropping. So it involves commitment for you to keep the vehicle moving, for you to keep the focus, for you to keep giving a voice to the voiceless. You need to have commitment. And you must be focused. What are you advocating for? There must be an issue. And how do you carry out the advocacy? Do you want to make people to take an action? Do you want the decision makers to stop something that they are doing? You need partnership. One person cannot effectively carry out a result-oriented advocacy. But one person must start it. Rome was not built in a day, right? The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. So as you carry out the advocacy, you build momentum. And as you are building momentum, you are gaining weight, you are gaining strength. Your influence is increasing. What are you advocating for? Who are you advocating to? It could be an individual. It could be a group. It could be a community. It could be a whole country. Right now, Nigeria ranks the first when it comes to malnutrition. We are number 1 in the whole world. In Africa, we are number 1. In Africa, we are number 1. In the whole world, we are number 2. We are giants of Africa. We are giants. In the whole world, we are number 2. We should be worried about getting from that number 2 to the last. And we can do it. All it takes is for we advocates to pick up our tools and advocate effectively. Next, please. Why should we sustain our gains? Why should we sustain it? Because the gains, we do not want to do what? We do not want to lose it. As we're moving up, we want to keep moving up. Yes, at a point, we'll be getting older. But what do? We hand over to the young ones, and then we now be at the back seats and be supporting. You know, in politics, they say king makers. So likewise in advocacy, we should be there and guiding. For you to sustain the gains, it's not an easy thing. It's not only when we get the commitment of the person, the group that we are advocating to, that we relax. No. You need to sustain the commitment so that you can get the ask that we are looking for. There is a need to build trust when you advocate to an individual, to an institution. As you're carrying out the advocacy activity, you are being assessed. Are you trustworthy? Can they rely on you? How credible are you? So when we are developing the advocacy brief, we were told the content of an advocacy brief earlier. Make sure you use individuals, materials that are credible, because they are the channel, they are the ones carrying that message. Advocacy issue is not a one-time thing. It takes a long time. Perseverance is very, very key. And you win in bits. It takes a long time for policymakers, for decision makers to change. And as an advocate, as we are getting the little attrition, you need to sustain it. Next. So now that we have a shared understanding of why we should sustain our gains, how do we sustain? By ensuring that every stakeholder, the strong, the weak, the middle strength, everyone is appropriately informed. There should be a strong communication plan. Send information to everyone using the approach, the channel that they are comfortable with. Ensure that you avoid miscommunication, misunderstanding. Develop long-term relationship with key stakeholders. I recall when I was the director health promotion, Dr. Garba was my very good friend. If we have to do anything and I'm stuck, I need funds, I need support, I'll just give him a call. And he will be there to support. Develop a long-term partnership. Things change. About a year ago, the nutrition department today was a division. Our priorities changed. So if you have come to advocate to the division, there are certain things that we will not be able to do. But now as a department, our mandate has expanded. There are changes in the environment. You cannot advocate alone. So what do? Have coalition. Identify who are other structures that have similar focus with your cause and build a network. And the community is very, very important. Ensure we have the participation of the community, of volunteers, and you'll be surprised that when you step aside, they will be the one owning and running with the successes. Next, please. Building and maintaining momentum of gains made in advocacy. All this is talking about is there is a need for us to sustain all the support that we have gathered. Oil that support, feed that support. Make sure that you have strategies that continuously inspire, engage, every member of the advocacy team, including the beneficiaries. The momentum makes advocacy efforts to be resilient. Any challenge that comes, because of the motivation, you are able to tackle it as a team and you achieve your long-term change. Next, please. So, how do we build and maintain the momentum? Set clear goals and objectives. You can have short-term goals, mid-term, and long-term. And set milestones. And each time you accomplish a milestone, please celebrate. Go to CNN if you can afford it and celebrate. Yes. Because when you celebrate your wins, some people that are still, trying to make up their mind either to support you, what do you think will happen? They'll support. You'll be surprised. The rate at which they will give you the support, they will even be the one carrying the torch. Where you think you cannot get to advocate, they will get there and advocate for you. And as you are getting attrition, new people will be getting interested. So be open. Be open. Engage new audiences. Ensure that you organize regular events, campaign as medium to disseminate information, to get people active, to get people interested, to get people knowledgeable, and the storytelling. When you share personal experience, it's easier for the advocates to identify with you. The media, the role of the media in achieving results-oriented advocacy can never be overemphasized. Where you cannot get to, the media will get there. Including the town announcers, not just the conventional. Next, please. How do we evaluate our advocacy efforts? The first thing we do is ensure you have key performance indicators that are SMART, that are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Choose indicators that can measure your successes so that it will be easy for you to identify your milestones, your wins, and you'll be able to celebrate. Put in place indicators to monitor your progress. How well are we doing? And how are we failing? Because it is not all the time that you will get the desired results. There are times the results will not be as you plan, but you take a step back and you review. How do we ensure that we get feedback? The feedback should be a 360 feedback from everyone, and we make good use of it. Get feedback from members of the team. Get feedback from the community. Get feedback even from those that are against that cause. Because such feedback will enhance your approach and document lessons. It's very, very important because that can serve as a pointer for subsequent future efforts. Next, please. So why should we adjust advocacy efforts? Because there are unforeseen challenges. As you are advocating, you are focused. Your attention of yourself and the team is on getting the results. A lot of challenges, a lot of distractions can come on board. Priorities are changing. Before 2021, in Nigeria, we were promoting iron folic acid for pregnancy care. Now, 2024, what are we promoting? We are including multiple micronutrient supplements for pregnancy care. So priorities are changing. So likewise, this will need the advocates that were advocating for IFAs. Now, they now have to advocate for IFAs and also advocate for MMS. So they are adjusting their strategies. And because of the feedback that we're getting from stakeholders, we may find ourselves adjusting. Next, please. So how do we adjust? By taking a look at those feedback that we documented. We review them. We'll decide which strategies are working, which ones are not working, which one do we need to drop, and which one do we need to improve on, and which strategies do we need to just keep running with. Then the change and tactics in politics, in economic landscape, this also affects how we need to adjust. There's a need for us, as we're adjusting, to review our messages. Do we need to make the message more specific? Do we need to change the framing of the message? Do we need to change the channel that we are using? Is the channel not credible anymore? Or our targets, we were told earlier on that for the young ones, now they have shifted. You want to reach them, go through the social media. There are new approaches coming on board all the time. I remember when I was in health promotion, and then the issue of social media came up. And I said, let's have a WhatsApp group so that we can easily communicate with the subnational. Everybody didn't accept immediately. It was a new thing then. But gradually, everybody now accepts it. So new innovation will come on board that will make you to do what? To shift your approach. And even the new innovation may make you to revisit your goals. Your goals may need to be adjusted based on what the new things you have learned. And there is no problem, even if you have to go back and review your objective as the advocacy progresses. Next, please. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I would like to state that for us to maintain the progress, the gains of advocacy, we need to ensure that we continuously engage every member of the advocacy group. You continuously ensure that you keep the commitment, the momentum high, and you continuously ensure that as you are advocating, more converts are coming in. And this will ensure that we sustain the progress and gains made in our advocacy efforts. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you so much. All right, let's take questions and feedbacks from this session.
Thank you very much again for the presentation. I just want you to share from your experience what major challenges that is possible to encounter in the process of advocacy and how to surmount them. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I'll share a very personal encounter. You know, in the ministry, there is this common feedback that, oh, we do not have enough money, we do not have budget, or we have zero budget, or the budget is not, you have it, but it's not released, something like that. So my new post in 2023, that was last year when I got to the seats, the appropriation was 66 million. One of the tasks I was given was, in March 2022, there was a presidential directive that the division should be upgraded to a department. So, and this was August 2023, over a year. That directive had not been implemented. So one of my tasks was implement that upgrading directive. So, with the team, within 3 months, by November, we got the new status. But there was not a challenge. When we got that new status, it was towards the end of the year. The budget, a lot had been done, almost completed. Now, as a department, your visibility increases. Your responsibility increases. So we need funding. In fact, we need resources. We need human resource, we need material resource, and we need money. So, to the glory of God, the skill that I have learned while I was in health promotion, I had to bring my team together and try in my little way to transfer some of the skills to them. So together as a team, we now started brainstorming. What do we do? Because we do not want 66 million in 2024 budget. We want our work environment to be improved. If you know nutrition division, if you know how our office was then, and you see how our office is now, you will appreciate what I'm saying. So as a team, we came up with some strategies. And today, 2024, nutrition department, our appropriation is 2.5 billion. You come to our office, we are still in our 2 rooms. But now we have cubicle, we have the workstation. In fact, the workstation that we do not have enough space to assemble. We packed some because of the space. There were challenges. I've talked about the results. It's good. Everybody is smiling. You know the challenges? There are times when we are making a case. Thank you. There are times when we are making a case, you ask yourself, is it by force? After all, it's government. Soldier come, soldier go, barrack remain. There are times you ask yourself, how many years do I have left? Let me just do my own and get out. And there are times you ask yourself, this officer, when this officer came into the service, or when this officer was given birth to, I was already in service. And this officer is putting up this attitude. So it's not rosy. But you remain focused. What are you aiming at? And like I said, you cannot do it alone. So some members will want to distract you. You try as much as you can. We are human. We are not machine. We have emotions. But as the leader of the team, you need to be very, very patient. And you need to have shoulders for other members to lean on when they are discouraged. Even when you are discouraged, hide your own emotion. Be the strength. That way, you will together meet that target. That's why I said, it's not a one-time thing. It's a long process. Today, if I leave, I believe that the skills that somehow I have been able to impart will continue to grow. And they will continue because we have a focus. We know where we want to be. In the next 5 years, we have a vision. So they will continue with it. And wherever I am, whatever little support I can give, I will give. I will be the, what they call it in politics? The godmother. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that.
So for the next thing on the agenda, it's going to be about action plans. And there's a slight tweak there. It was supposed to be a group work, but now it's going to be a panel discussion so that we all can be involved as much as possible. Action planning and commitments, the way forward, and how organizations can put all of these things to work. Organization-specific action plans, making commitments to advocacy efforts to suit beneficiaries, private sector involvement, and the likes. So to moderate this session, we have the honor and privilege to have in our midst the country director of the Planned Parenthood Federation of Nigeria, PPFN, Dr. Okai Aku. Please let's appreciate him as he comes to the podium. I think the applause can be louder than that. For Gombe State, the family planning coordinator will be sitting in for the panel discussion in the person of Mrs. Grace Saleh Mabudi. Please let's appreciate her. For Nasarawa State, the Director of Public Health in the person of Dr. Peter Atta will be sitting in for the panel discussion. Please let's appreciate him. For Ekiti State, the Reproductive Health Coordinator in the person of Mrs. Taibat Abiodun will be sitting in for the panel discussion. Please let's appreciate her. All the names I called, they are all in the auditorium. Please let's make our way. Let's make our way. Time is of the essence. Time is of the essence. And then for FCT, I understand that the person who's supposed to sit in is close by. So when she gets here, I'll just find a way to have her join the panel. Please let's appreciate them as they come. Nasarawa State, Gombe State, we're waiting for you, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. So far, for the past 2 days, we've been talking about advocacy. And I think we have learned a lot by the step-by-step of advocacy in achieving change. Advocacy itself is change. Mode of communication in advocacy channel is communication. We've all had the different ways. The different phases of advocacy from phase 1 to 3, we've all had from our August lecturers. Now we have come to the point of how do we implement this? Because if you want to implement, you must come out with an action plan. An action plan means with your budget. Then you do your checkup, your reality check, how far. Benchmark successes, and whether if it has created an impact. With me here, we've heard my name. My name is Dr. Okai Haruna Aku, and I have here on my on the panel from Ekiti.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ainde Abiodun, RH Coordinator for Ekiti State.
Good. And from Nasarawa?
Okay, my name is Peter Atta. I'm the Director of Public Health, Nasarawa State.
You're welcome.
I'm Grace Salemobudi, the Family Planning Coordinator, Gombe State.
You are welcome. So thank you very much. So I have just some questions. Now, since we are at the state level, we are talking about subnational advocacy. And that is where it matters, not at the national level. Subnational advocacy is very important because this is where we really want our advocacy to be, because you have your own different policy, even despite the national policy. So I have a series of questions for you, and I want you to go straight to the point. If, for what we have learned for the past 2 days, how we are going to put it into practice at the subnational level. So my question goes to number one, the Ekiti State. What specific action will your state take in the next 6 months to address the key maternal and child health challenges identified during this workshop?
Thank you, sir, Mr. Moderator. In Ekiti State, like we have been here for the past 3 days now, and we have learned a lot of things. And we were able to identify the challenges of maternal and child health in this workshop, in which part of it are PPH, postpartum hemorrhage, preeclampsia, sepsis, and the likes. So now, make sure that we get out of this problem or face these challenges and overcome them. What I feel we should do in the state is, now, we need to pay advocacy visits to stakeholders like government, philanthropists, groups like religious and community leaders, to let them know the actual causes of maternal and child mortality and morbidity in Ekiti State. By so doing, even when we are going to this set of people, we need to go with data that will back up our points. So with this, and consistent and persistent in the advocacy visits is really necessary. It's not a thing we can do in a day and just say we are not going, or maybe those people that we have paid advocacy to, it's like they are insulting or they are not ready to cooperate. But when we are persistent in telling them our problems, and we let them realize those mothers and children that we are losing to death through childbearing, through pregnancy-related causes, if we are able to come out with data and we don't keep silent on it, they will be able to do one thing or the other to reduce these challenges that we are facing. And another point is the community dialogue will really work. For the community dialogues, the people that will be there, we want these women of childbearing age to be there, which will include the pregnant woman, the nursing mothers, even men. They will be available, because when you put them through the causes of maternal and child death, and there are things that can be avoided, it can be reduced if we put everything in place. Then apart from that, we need training and retraining of our health workers. Not only that, we need to do training and retraining to TBAs, because they are there, they are really working day and night. But we need to let them know how to identify high-risk pregnancy and prompt referral to the next level. When you are referring, if you delay in referring, there can be problem. And these 3 delays, like for the woman is to even decide when should I go to the hospital? I will wait till my husband is around. And this thing happen when a woman does not even get anything doing. She cannot decide on its own. That will be problem. Along the way to the facility too, if the road is bad, it can continue to be leading. So we need to pay advocacy visits to government, and those roads, maybe there are things they can do on it. And apart from that, getting to health facility on time. Another thing is for you to meet health worker that will attend to you promptly. So by so doing, we need to let governments know we need recruitment of skilled birth attendant, or we can do their tax tiering and tax shifting policy. So the existing staff, they can also be trained on how to manage any issue that can lead to death of the mother and the baby. Not only that, when a child is delivered, within the 24 hours, a child needs to take some immunization. We have preventable diseases, and the only way we can prevent them is to take immunization for the child when necessary. And not only that, we need our men to be really involved. Like some people will run away from family planning. Their husband will say, once you go for family planning, you now begin to move from one man to the other. They need to be enlightened on this. If you can put all these things in place, we realize that maternal and child health challenges we are facing will be drastically reduced in Ekiti State. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ekiti, for that elaborate activities. In fact, she has put into play how you work out your action plan. Okay. So that from your goal, your objectives that are smart, in fact, you have proved to us that you have to do your landscape analysis, because building consensus in batteries of issues like this is very important. Your landscape is the data, because you want to speak from the point of evidence. So I thank you very much for that point of, if you are doing advocacy, it must be evidence-based. So my next question is to Nasarawa State. How will you ensure that the voices and the needs of women, children, and other vulnerable populations are consistently integrated into your state maternal and child health policies? So 2 minutes, please.
Okay, so thank you very much for the question. For us in Nasarawa State, first, before we should think about seeing how the voices of the women, children, and the other vulnerable population are integrated into the decision, first we want to actually look at our data, and it is from our data that we'll be able to actually plan how that should be done. For the past 2-3 days that we've been here, and from the data we have from the state and also from the national, we know that for us in Nasarawa State, we have a very high maternal mortality rate. We also have high neonatal and infant and under 5 death rates, and also low exclusive breastfeeding. So for us, our target will be to ensure that we increase the quality of care and service delivery. Now, how to actually, what we will be doing to actually see that the voices of the mother and the children are actually integrated in the state policy is to be able, from this workshop, what we have learned, we'll be able to conduct all the various advocacy from the community level. At the community level, we'll be focusing on the traditional leaders, religious leader, the opinion leaders within the communities and other gatekeepers, the World Development Committee, and then we'll also be trying to see how we advocate and engage the local health authority, the state ministry of health, and other relevant MDAs that we feel they will also be relevant to see that the voices of the women and the children are here. And the national state government who will be actually be funding this will also be engaged. And we will also be see how we work closely with other key stakeholders in the cell, the better medicine vendor, other NGO, to see that these various advocacies are actually conducted, and then see that the are actually brought on board into the policy plan of the state for their voices to be heard. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Here is speaking to change because of maternal mortality and child mortality as well. So you are bringing voices together, focus efforts, and coming out with message. This is what we've learned for the past 3 days. Building consensus, focus efforts, and then to see if we will achieve this change. So it's important to bring like minds together. Don't forget, in any situation, there is opposition. Some will be thinking of, you are talking about changing this policy. What about going for abortion and all that? Don't forget, because oppositions like that are there. So be prepared to face opposition and don't discourage them. What you only do is to see how you can win them over to your own side of message to the decision maker. So thank you very much, Nasarawa, for that brilliant contribution. My next question goes to Gombe State. What concrete step will you take to strengthen collaboration with local private sector actors, e.g. health service providers, pharmaceutical companies, NGOs, to improve maternal and child health outcomes? Good.
Okay,
2
thank
minutes.
you very much for this question. So we've identified a lot of challenges with maternal and child health in this training, and then how we'll be able to use advocacy to be able to improve maternal and child health outcomes. So the steps we are going to take, first, if we are able to identify either the pharmaceutical company or the NGO that are available, we'll be able to advocate to them based on the data we have and then our maternal and child health indices in the state, to advocate for more funding in order to improve maternal health services. We'll talk about things like anemia, malnutrition and others in women. So we could be able to improve their health if we are able to go for advocacy. And then another thing we could do is a form of partner coordination unit that we have. A lot of partners are coming in to implement maternal and child health services and other services. So in that coordination platform, we could be able to advocate for more collaboration and more system strengthening in order to improve our maternal and child health services. So another thing, if the state wants to implement, like certain projects, so we could be able to advocate to the Ministry of, let's say, if it's an association, we could be able to advocate for all these big pharmaceutical companies to be able to come in and give us their support. So if we are able to identify them, the thing we could do is to go for our advocacy, to tell them our needs, and then based on the data indices that we have of the strategies we are going to use to improve those maternal health outcomes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Gombe, for that beautiful contribution. Now, it also takes us back to building consensus, because initially, one thing about advocacy is if you miss it from step one, you have missed it. So if you are building consensus, stakeholders that are coming together should be stakeholders that have common goal. They should go with common goal. If they are interested in maternal health, if they are interested in child health, otherwise, if they are not interested, they cannot build consensus, because the earlier you have a very good consensus from the beginning, the better the outcome of your advocacy. Thank you. Now, still from Gombe, if you don't mind, but tell me if there is any question that you think we should throw to another person, no problem. I'm not putting it on you. I want you to also quickly take this message. You are part of us? Okay, FCT. I'll allow you to just rest for 1 minute. then I'll come back to you. Gombe, what are your state key priorities in advocating for increased funding or resources for maternal and child health? And how will you engage both the federal government and the private sector to support these priorities?
Okay, thank you very much for this question. As you may be aware, Gombe State have been greatly committed in improving maternal and child health services in the state. In the last 2 years, our governor gave the sum of 35 million naira for procurement of family planning commodities, and also this year a sum of 50 million naira for the procurement of family planning commodities and other essential maternal and newborn child health services in nutrition and others. So the state is really committed in improving maternal and child health services. So what we do is use of domestic resources to fund all these health implementation strategies that we have. And that was driven by the data we have for our maternal and child health mortality rate, which was high. So a lot of efforts are being made to improve such. So another thing is that we have a budget line for family planning, maternal and child health services in the state. So one thing that we're going to do is to advocate for more release of this budget line. It's not just to have them, but then we advocate for the release of the budget line so that we'll be able to implement those services. Then the other thing we could do is to go further for an increment in the budget line that we already have based on the current realities that we have in life. So basically is that we have a budget line for RAMCA activities in the state, MCH activities in the state. So we are going to advocate for more based on the realities and then the needs of the state. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gombe State, because Gombe State particularly is one of the few states that have actually touched the 15% 2001 Abuja Declaration. I praise them for that. And Gombe State, again, actually has a budget line for end users' delivery of commodities. And I have been there. I noticed that free commodities, in fact, when you say free commodities in the subnational Gombe State, I have seen it practically done, because my own organization in that region, we had to slug it out with the government. In fact, it was even on a radio program that yes, PPFN, because of what they call consumables, you cannot do this, you cannot do this, and that's why today PPFN also gives out commodities, family planning commodities, free in Gombe State. So please, a round of applause for Gombe State for those strengthening those priorities. And again, I would like to also ride on you, because you said not only having budget line, it is important you have budget line, but at the same time it's important this budget is released timely. And we have what they call accountability. It's not just creating budget line, but to make sure that yes, they are released on time, and you must account for this, and it must reflect in the impact analysis. So Gombe State, thank you very much. FCT, you are welcome. I don't know if you have studied the few questions here, or from 5 to 7, or I can move on. Do I ask the question? Good, thank you. Now, question number 5. How will you monitor and evaluate the effectiveness of the advocacy efforts and commitments made during this workshop in reducing maternal and child health risk in your state, in FCT?
Good afternoon, everyone. I know in FCT, advocacy is a key to reduction of family, of maternal and child mortality, and also to maternal and child health. In FCT, most especially in the primary healthcare board, because in the primary healthcare board, we get we are more close to the community than the secondary health facility. We work in collaboration with the community stakeholders, the women the community leaders, the women leaders, the social mobilizers in the community. So we gather them, and we also get across to the community leaders who will also table our matters in the community. Because in the community, hardly you see many pregnant women, they don't want to even go to antenatal. Or you see the high population of women attending ANC, and at the end of the term of the pregnancy, you see that they don't even come for delivery. So we'll try and follow. We follow up. We give them. We do community sensitization using the village development committee member, chairman, and the members, and also the ward committee members. We use them to get reach to the community. And the community NPC DSR is not yet functional in FCT. So we are on it. Even in our last AOP, we were able to put some of the activities we have to do to reduce maternal death in the community. So for advocacy, and there in the advocacy, we really worked on advocacy, because from the advocacy we will not only start from the community. We'll start to make the stakeholders in the health sector to see how they can work to reduce maternal and child health. From there, they cascade it down. Even we also do supportive supervision to those who are really concerned with taking deliveries. Then we also try to work with the TBAs, because sometimes they are the contributors of these deaths. Because they are close to the community, they are part of the community people. The community tends to work with them more than the people in the facility. So we intensify on our advocacy sensitization to them, so that whenever there is any pregnant women that come to their place, they should try to refer to our facilities. And we are really working on that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, FCT. In fact, all these questions here, they are also answerable to everybody here from every state. So you are speaking directly from your action plan, and it is from your action plan that, of course, coming from your main objective, that you will use, you come out with your indicator to do your monitoring and then evaluate how far you have gone, which is good. So continue the good work you are doing, and then see that, yes, what we are looking for is a good outcome for maternal and child health. Thank you very much. Now the next question will go to Ekiti or Nasarawa. Who will take it? Ekiti, okay. Okay, it's all right, it's all right. But ladies first. Okay, so you can relax there. Ekiti, what role will local community leaders, health workers, and other stakeholders play in your state action plan for improving maternal and child health, and how will you engage them moving forward?
Thank you, sir, for that question, Mr. Moderator. For this question, we are really talking about local community leaders. And for this, we need community to take ownership. How? We need to hold regular meetings with them, maybe monthly or quarterly. Brief them on what is happening in all the facility. And by so doing, when they go back to their community, they will be able to advocate for other people that we have facility there that is free for you, because in Ekiti State, when it comes to maternal and child health care, everything is free. You won't pay any money even to the facility. All you need to do is just to get yourself into the facility and access every care needed by you. You will not pay anything. But the thing is, most of the community people, they are not aware And that is why we are saying we should allow community to take ownership. How do we do that? We have World Development Committee. We need to let them be involved. Among those community, World Development Committee, we have community leaders, we have religious leaders, both Muslim and Christian, we have youth, we have women representatives and all that. So when they are involved, they will get back to their community, to their settlement, and enlighten their people the need for them to access our care. And a sort of incentive to encourage mothers, like in Ekiti State, we are giving mama kits to women when they come to deliver. At least this mama kit is there for them to use in the first 24 hours to care for the mother and the babies. And not only that, we have health, Ekiti Health Insurance. And once you are enrolled into it, you are free to take your treatments free. Not only that, we need to visit churches, mosques, and some other people so that we can have their hand. They will know this thing is for them. It's not for any other person. Not only that, in Ekiti State, there is one thing our commissioner, the Honorable Commissioner, is doing. He goes to school of nursing, and any fresh graduate, he will absorb them on temporary as ad hoc staff, and he begins to pay them little amount. Not only that, we have a lot of partners or programs like Basic Health Care Provision Fund in Ekiti State that they give them whatever they need in the state, they give them freely. Not only that, we have Impact. Impact too is taking its own place very well in Ekiti State. How they supply drugs, make necessary equipment available. With all these things, and when they are holding regular meetings with their facts and data to the community, I believe, strongly believe, it is getting better when it comes to maternal and child health, because all of them are fully involved. Even we do visit philanthropists too, to give one support or the other in Ekiti State. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ekiti State, for this contribution. Ekiti State in particular, I have observed and improved in terms of maternal health and child health. Advocacy per se is tenacity. You heard Gombe said they have budget line, they are thinking of to make sure now to still go on advocacy to timely release. Now in Ekiti State, I would say continue the advocacy until we achieve not just the 27% MCPR by FP 2030, but that we want zero maternal mortality. Nobody here wants the mother, the sister, the wife, the daughter to die because it's performing her own physiological function. Again, somebody mentioned male involvement here just now. Let me not just overlook it. Male, I don't know, your involvement in maternal and child health is very key because you are the cause of the pregnancy. So you should listen and you should stay together to come to a consensus. The number, when to even have the baby, the number of baby you want to have, and how to space, because the health of the mother is equally important for the family. So by projection for the community and therefore the country as a whole for better socioeconomic development. Thank you very much, Ekiti, for that wonderful presentation. I would like to move to Nasarawa State. What commitment are you willing to make today to ensure accountability in the implementation of maternal and child health initiative? And how will you report progress to your communities and stakeholders?
So, thank you very much for the question and good afternoon. For us in Nasarawa State, today we can assure you we are committed to lead and also support the virus advocacy strategy and to see that we build consensus and also bring voices together to ensure that we are accountable when it comes to the maternal and child health initiative. And we also intend to see that we report the progress through various platforms. Take, for example, at the community level, the World Development Committee, or any platform that will feel the progress of the maternal and child health initiative that we are actually carried out in the state are reported to the state, to the community, the end user, so that they understand what the state is doing, the support and the leading role that the state is also providing. And then for other key stakeholders at the state level, technical working group, we intend to see that the progress and the challenges are actually also reported at that, so that all the heads, all the various stakeholders can actually put their heads together to see that we own the project together and also work to ensure that we get the desired target that we set for ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nasarawa, for that explanation. I'm happy at your own subnational level, you are taking the lead. And you are also making efforts. Community involvement is also very key. Well, I don't know of your budget line so far, but most importantly is for pregnant women. We have to improve on sensitization and mobilization, because in the earlier presentation when I came in, doctor from State House actually told us the importance of sensitization, which is very, very good. It's even better, antenatal care is far, far better than even coming to the point of CS, which the government has made free now. But let's put emphasis on you coming for antenatal care. Stakeholders should know, community gatekeepers should know, and then the issue of all these delays should also be addressed. If you have a very good antenatal history, honestly, the outcome is going to be favorable, and it will reduce maternal, and the mother will be alive to take care of the children. Thank you very much, Nasarawa, for that one. Now, one last question, which I will give FCT. Do I? Okay, good. Can you develop advocacy plan for community, donors, and government together with your partners on MCH?
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, for FCT, I think we can do that. Because since we, the health providers, we are the one that know the intensity of this problem, what we do first, within us, the key healthcare providers we meet to see how we can do advocacy to keep people. And where do we start from? We have to start with the government. We start with the government, we'll go with our advocacy tool, we'll go with our data to show where we are and where we ought to be. So we'll go to the government, we'll tell them who we want to advocate to. So from there, when we are satisfied with the government and what are the government, we'll also ask them what they want to do for us. Because we cannot just watch and be seeing our women dying. So we'll start with the government. Then after then, we now go to we'll look for stakeholders, donors that will help us out. Because most especially now, just as my sister here is saying that they have budget line for family planning. We don't have, but we are thinking that one day we'll get there. So from there, we'll look for donors that will help us in providing some of the family planning commodities, even the consumables, to help us so that the out-of-pocket spending in our community will be less. Then from there, if we are able to get to any donor that will assist us, then we'll now go now to the community. In the community, we have to meet the gatekeepers of the community, which are the head of the community. Then we also meet maybe head of churches, head of mosques, head of religious leaders, in short, and women leaders. We will meet them and table our problems to them, so they too will advocate to them to see the way forward. Because in the community, the key stakeholders has a stake in this. They have a stake because when women are dying, they too, on their own, sometimes they look out for the causes of mortality in the village. Why are these women dying? So, but by the time we come as a healthcare providers, we should be able to sensitize them, advocate to them, sensitize them on the cause of death, and they should be able to see how the deaths can be minimized in their community. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. FCT has told us that, yes, they can actually develop an action plan with budget, and they've told us how they are going to go about it. I think I have to advise FCT here. FCT has money, and we really need a strategic action plan. You remember when Mrs. Advocacy was talking, MNI? She made mention of tactics. You have to scan your internal environment. You have to scan your internal opportunities. You have to scan your internal threats, and then know who to. You have to use tactics. That was the word she used. You need tactics to be able to say you need a budget line, because if you don't have a budget line for family planning, you have not started. So I want you to make it a main objective that budget line must be established in your budget, in the FCTA budget development process. I'm sure maybe it's still going on, I don't know, but please cook your group, your stakeholders, to insist that don't let them see the decision maker why they should establish the budget line for family planning. And we don't mind in PPFN if you add us to the group. We are real advocates, and we can also help you to develop this action plan for budget line. We want, by the time we come here next year, we're talking the next budget or the upper one, you should be talking about FCT has established a budget line. It's a major achievement in terms of assessment of your advocacy. So thank you very much, and on behalf of the panelists with the visible presentation, they've all answered the question very well. This is speaking to the subnational advocacy, and we hope that as they go back, these questions all, they are also not particular to any particular state, it's just to all the states. Go on, develop your action plan based on what you have learned from here for the past 3 days, outline your activities, come out with your indicator, don't make an over-ambitious target, and we have learned of quick wins here now. Whichever one that anybody is promising, document it very well. Mrs. Aibu said it, MNI, that document it is very important, and be conscious of the changing environment, what you want to add, and how you can re-strategize to achieve your aim. So thank you very much for a wonderful presentation. You are all welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think they deserve a round of applause. Let's appreciate the moderator as well, the country director of PPFN, Dr. Okai Aku. Thank you so much, sir, for the excellent moderation of that panel session. And I know that there were lots and lots of takeaways, active plans, straight on, spot on plans regarding advocacy. And like we've been told, advocacy is a continuum. It's not a one-off, it is a continuum. All right, so we're gradually coming, wrapping up the event, but we're not there yet. We're almost there. We will take a few remarks from 2 of our zonal coordinators. That's from Rotary International. because they will speak on behalf of the 6. You know, there are 6 geopolitical zones. 2 of them present. They will take turns to speak for 5 minutes each on, they'll express their views on the application of the advocacy learnings and how they intend to put them to work, of course, in their zones. So I would start with the zone coordinator for South in the person of PDG Adeyemi Oladokun. Please let's appreciate him as he takes the podium. Thank you, thank you. His Excellency, the 17th Governor. I must put it. Now you say I should put it. His Excellency, the 17th Governor of, I don't know the states.
Hello. Hello. Greetings, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Adeyemi Oladokun. I represent South Zone of Nigeria in our RMCH, and it's been a pleasure working with PDG Lufadeju. Over the years, we have done a lot of things. Like I told you, we command the foot soldiers, and it's a great pleasure being here for this period of days. Learning is a continuous process. Life itself is a continuous process. So we continue to learn. Coming here for advocacy for 3-4 days has added value to what we will go back to do, particularly myself in South. Just for your information, South is of Bayelsa, Rivers, Edo, Delta, Cross River, and Akwa Ibom. South. So we are going to scale down all we have learned here to this period to the benefit of and definitely we will be of great help. We are ready, ever ready, to make sure that we make success of this kind of program anytime we have it in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I have the honor and privilege to call up the coordinator for the Southwest Zone in the person of PDG Omotunde Lawson. Please let's appreciate her as she comes up to take, with her blinking dress, that's how you clap. With her blinking dress, no.
Thank you very much. I wish to stand on the protocols that has been established since Tuesday. I will start from the angle of appreciation for the opportunity of being part of this highly impressive, highly filled with impact. I can say that for the 3 days, initially I was feeling that what we'll be doing for 3 days. A lot of presentations have been made here since on Tuesday. All of them seem to be saying the same thing, but they have been said from different angles. That no presentation could be referred to as total repetition. I have been introduced. I represent Southwest, which comprise Lagos, Ogun, Osun, Ondo, Oyo, and Ekiti states. And I'm indeed very proud that Ekiti State which happens to be the only state that is covered as we speak, are fully represented here. And you would have seen the kind of impact that this program of skills have made in that zone from numerous presentations and reports and the panel discussion that have been had since we started. It has been so impactful in that state that I'm very proud to have Dr. Victoria being the Rotary representative from that region, covering and delivering the mandate of the national body on these programs of skills together for healthy Nigerian families. Thank you so much, Dr. Victoria. And though Ekiti State is the only state that is covered for now, but Lagos and Oyo states are planning, we'll be meeting on how to have a program that is similar to what's happening in Ekiti State as we speak, so that we start in bits and all the other states too within Southwest can have a feel of what is happening in Ekiti State. And this workshop is not, I've learned so much that even back home, the screenshot that I've been making, I've sent it to my office at home to put them together in form of sheets, since I'm not sure that we're going to have the presentation being given to us, so that I have the tool to work with. And I can assure the national body, con-director and the program organizers that we will do due diligence to this program by cascading it down to the Southwest fully. And we will not mind to give us a presentation when we call any of the stakeholders who are spoken at this program. Thank God for virtual presentation that's available now for IT, so we can always call anybody to discuss with us and to also share more insight into any of the presentations that we have had today. But overall, it's been a very, very worthwhile stay here together. I've made friends, and I want to thank the organizers for this opportunity once again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma, for that remark. I understand that other zonal coordinators are present here as well. So in no particular order, I'll just, we'll take them one by one. So I think we've taken two from the south, so let's go to the north. For the North Central coordinator, we have PDG Elvis Chukwu. Let's welcome him as he takes the podium for a brief remark, please. It's like the clap is going down.
Well, I wouldn't have had any reason to speak since my governor, His Excellency, spoke. But as the Commissioner for Special Duties, I need to lend my voice to what has been going on here. First of all, let me congratulate Nasarawa State team and Gombe State team. Those are the two states in North Central under my supervision. And I'm excited that they came in full, and I'm pretty sure, looking at their faces, there's a lot of takeaway from this advocacy workshop. Advocacy is one thing that, you keep learning, you relearn, and you unlearn. Reasons are because there are always new development, there are always new protocols. And there are different protocols for different projects, depending on who you are partnering with. I think some of the presentations here are very novel. Anybody can speak to that, and I appreciate the fact that they all came from different angles and different perspectives. So I really want to align with everybody that has probably appreciated the effort of RMCH and the presidency for putting this together. And let me equally appreciate our Rotary leaders, Pearl Ijoma, a trustee who represents us at the Board of Trustees at Rotary International, is still here. I think she deserves a round of applause. PDG Yinka, Rotary International Vice President, former Vice President, was equally here for the period he could spare his time with us. And of course, Daniela, I wouldn't forget you. She partners with us on this project. Daniela, I think we can appreciate you. Oh yeah, the beauty queen. You can see she looks more like a model. So that confirms part of equally, good maternal, effigy. So I think, Daniela, before you leave, we'll try to give you a Nigerian husband. Is that agreeable? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's worth the time. And I want to really say thank you, Prof, for providing leadership for this project. And of course, not only Prof, there's a team in the RMCH office, Toyosi, Mary, Damilola, and the rest of them. They've always been very supportive. And of course, our, my chief protocol officer during the advocacy or policy, this thing, Bumi, I think they've been actually very great, supporting us technically from the office and making sure all correspondences and all logistics are worked out well. So I think we're so much grateful. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much, PDG Chukwu, representing the North Central. We'll go to the Southeast. Okay, since he's already here, we'll take the Northeast, PDG David Gwanva. Please let's appreciate him.
The protocols already observed, I stand on it. I equally want to stand on the vote of thanks by my brother, PDG Elvis, to our Rotary leaders and all our partners here. I specifically want to say that we in the Northeast, we form one of the largest geopolitical regions within these regions of Nigeria. And we have unique requirements. Especially want to thank this program on the 30 million naira donation of the anti-snake venoms to Gombe. It's actually a need that we also very want more. And just like they said, we can also ask for more. But since this is a pilot, I'm sure our performance will ensure that we'll get more support on that one. And as recognized by the chairman of the last discussion group, that Gombe State has done a wonderful job, right? Where is he? Okay. And therefore, that means he who does more, and more is what will be expected to be given to him or her. So we're expecting the scaling up of all these things we'll be doing in Gombe to other states. We know we have challenges of security in the Northeast, but in spite of this, I know the Gombe, the national coordinator and his team, they are so much afraid of going to the Northeast. But we gave them assurance that everything is fine. It's only in the top Northeast of Borno State. And I'm sure the next one will send them to Borno. Just like one of the presenters said, she's from Borno State. And things are not as alarming as people are thinking about it. But the issues of security, as one of the presenters said, we need partnership with the security agencies. But I'm sure things will go on fine. And before I just put on, I just say that in Northeast, we believe in putting more men on the job, right? So now they said the men have not been cooperating. I want to assure you that men in the Northeast are very, very cooperating. So our women shouldn't take anything for granted. And we will ensure that this project will succeed. I wish to thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir. Now to the Southeast, PDG Dan Ajawara. Please let's appreciate him as he comes to make his remark.
Stay very small. Good afternoon, my dear friends. I think I will want to stand on all the protocol already established. to first of all acknowledge our national coordinator, to thank him for bringing all of us together to this wonderful, wonderful seminar. Let me recognize my district governor who has been here. In fact, if I don't recognize him, I'm sure he will. Professor Noyello, I salute you. And of course, my beautiful sister, please don't get offended that I'm turning protocol upside down. Trustee Ijeoma, I salute you. My dear friends, I think this has been a full seminar, as all of you can see. And all the facilitators, they've been wonderful. I'm looking forward to when this program will be scaled to the Southeast. I'm sure that is why my governor is here to get that assurance that very soon the project will come to the Southeast. And of course, for all my colleagues, our foot soldiers will make sure that they also benefit from this kind of seminar. And again, my dear friends, please, as you are going home, I'm sure God will direct each and every one of us and make sure that we arrive home safely. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Northwest, PAG Donatus Nwogo. Please let's appreciate him as he comes to make his remark. Let the clap not go down. Lunch is already being served, so just muzzle up the rest of the energy you refill afterwards.
It's my singular honor to thank all the distinguished participants at this workshop. For the past 3 days, I've learned a lot. Well packaged. By tomorrow, I'll be going back to Northwest, 7 states in the North. And I'll invite all my state reps, and I would like to share these experiences with them. I just want to thank, once again, our amiable leader, Prof., for guiding us right in the course of having our way through in the Northwest. For here, I want to thank the organizers of this program, the federal government, through the health, the assistant to the president. And I want to thank all the partners for also packaging this program. I'm happy, and I want to say, as we go back, the experiences gathered, we'll use it in the future. I also want to say that in future, when the services are needed, myself and all the team leaders in the Northwest will be willing to participate. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. We have 2 district governors seated, so I'll just call them also to do their own remarks as well. We'll start with District 9126 in the person of DG Kayode Olowolagba. Please let's appreciate him. You clap more if you know the meaning of Olowolagba.
Thank you. I stand on the existing protocols. I want to congratulate our dear PDG, Lufadeju. And I want to thank him for inviting our district to this program. With our invitation and participation in this program, I want to assure him that a lot of doubts have been cleared. Before now, I didn't know anything about this program and about the workings and what the committee or action group was doing. But today, after this program, I am well informed and more knowledgeable about the program. And I want to assure him of our district's more involvement and participation in the program whenever we are called upon. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Prof, should I tell the meaning of Olowolagba? I should do that. Okay, Prof also smiled. So that means Olowo means, of course, we all know what Olowo means. A rich person, Lagba. So in a family, when people gather, the person that has the most money is the eldest. That's the meaning of Olowo Lagba. All right, so I have the honor. Okay, you want to clap again? Please clap for that interpretation. Clap. Thank you. All right, I have the honor and privilege to invite up to the podium District Governor for 9142 DG AU Non-Yelu. Please, let's appreciate him. He said he should be loud enough.
Thank you very much, my dear friends. Well, let me just, say that I bring you greetings from 9142, my district, and today mine is an expression of mixed feelings, if not of envy. Because honestly, I want us to really salute PDG Lufadeju and allow him to stand up. And please, Oga, please stand up. The man is a genius, complete genius in my view. Sit down, sir. You've done very well. He's done something many of us can do, most of us can do. The passion he has, the expertise, the depth of knowledge is wonderful. And the presidency with the committee, they've assembled a wonderful team, to take us through the content of the delivery, the pedagogy, everything here is good. For me, it's more or less like a new beginning and a fresh thinking about what you're doing. Before 2 days ago, I had a different mindset about what is happening here. I'm sure I'm going to go home with, different story to tell. And all commendations to you. Thank you for this wonderful advocacy workshop. And we may be thinking about more of this if the funds permit. Thank you very much. You've done really well.
Thank you. All right, so before we go into the summary of the key takeaways, remember that at the beginning, at the middle, and at every point, we emphasized, and you would also see that on the agenda you have, that this advocacy workshop was put together by the Office of the Special Advisor to the President on Health, Rotary, RMCH, as well as TA Connect. So as we're taking closing remarks, I have the honor and privilege to invite up to the podium the Technical Director, TA Connect, in the person of Dr. Lai Jayola for his closing remarks. Please, let's have him here, please. Please, let's appreciate him. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone. For us at TA Connect, we're pleased to have been part of this epoch-making event. Our appreciation goes to Professor Lufadeju for the opportunity to be part of this event. I think for me, what is critical is how do we action the next steps we've agreed on here, and how do we take back actionable next steps from here. So I want to thank everyone for coming, and hope that we live here as strong advocates of maternal and newborn health, and that together we can achieve to bring down maternal and newborn mortality in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, Dr. Jayola. And then from the Office of the Special Advisor to the President on Health, I'd like to invite to the podium Dr. Fatima Jibrila to give us her remarks. Please, let's appreciate her.
Okay, I'm back once again. So on behalf of the Office of the Special Advisor to the President on Health, I want to say thank you, everyone, for taking out time to be part of this workshop. And I hope we have taken a lot of take-home messages that will impact our future efforts in advocacy. So we hope to see more of this and then more changes so that we'll have a strategic advocacy that will increase political will, commitment, yes, to see that maternal and child health care services is prioritized in the country, and with a long-term impact of seeing a reduced maternal and child death. I wish us success. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jibrila. And from our Rotary RMCH Germany counterparts, of course, we've introduced her earlier, she's spoken earlier, and of course, it's just right for her to also come and give her remarks. Let's appreciate Daniela Kempfe. You not clap for her like that, please. Let the applause be louder. Thank you.
Thank you. So first of all, thank you, as I said, for having the opportunity to being here. And over the last 3 days, I think we have learned a lot. We heard a lot of insights, good remarks, questions. We had some good group works, but we also heard about the challenges facing advocacy for maternal and child health. So I just wanted to say, I think, or I hope we are all inspired to continue the good work and advocate so that maternal and child health can be improved. And I think every one of you who is doing their best, their excellent work in this field. So thank you very much, and thanks for having me here.
Thank you very much. Okay, so it's not going to be a lengthy one. Just a brief recap from what we had from the first day. I would even call it recap. No, not recap. We've had recap every of the days. I'll just pick, and then, hand over the mic in 2-3 minutes. Of course, it's a advocacy workshop on working together to reduce deaths of mothers and newborns in Nigeria. We've heard a lot in that regard. We heard from the special advisor to the president on health regarding the current situation of maternal and child health, the efforts that are being put in place. We heard about the sector-wide approach, how also they are working closely with the RAMCAN structure, amongst other efforts that are being put in place to ensure that advocacy is far-reaching and it gets to the communities regarding maternal and child health. We also heard how her office has been putting in concerted efforts to meet with governors of states to ensure that advocacy gets to the last mile. And we've also seen, as a result of some of those advocacy efforts, that family health departments in some of the states have been created and are very vibrant and working towards that. In the course of the presentation also on the situation of maternal mortality in Nigeria, which was taken by Dr. Aminu Ado Wakili, we also saw some of the cultural, the economic, the systemic factors, and how steps can be taken in terms of advocacy to mitigate them. And then, of course, in the course of the panel discussion, we looked at advocacy from different angles, especially as it has to do with multilateral organizations like the UNFPA, WHO, and the likes. That was a very robust conversation. And then also looking at it from the subnational, Gombe State, sat in for the subnationals on that, looking at the role of the government, civil society, and how they're working together to ensure that policies are enacted, and not just enacted, but are also put to work. And also, we saw, lots of questions coming up from that regarding how best to approach these issues. And then regarding the panel discussion on advocacy efforts, on safe motherhood, we're aware of the fact that there is a safe motherhood sub-working group that also works closely with the National Technical Working Group on Reproductive Health in the country. That way, what each partner is doing is brought to the fore. So the days of partners operating in isolation, those days are long gone. So that at the point where a partner is working, you understand when you're coming to a new location, you understand what is already going on there, those who are working there, what kind of efforts they've made, and then you can tailor your interventions to plug the leakages. I mean, the statistics have stared us in the face in the course of this advocacy workshop. It has been, drummed over and over regarding how many lives are being lost because they're trying to bring life to the earth. And so there's so much space for every partner to operate. And we saw that also play out there, and I'm sure there are lots of learnings for us from that. And then looking at the core of advocacy and various tools to work with, where we looked at messaging, framing, storytelling, and testimonies. That was the model taken by Professor Oladapo Shitu, where it took us to the nitty-gritty of advocacy, how it's important to ensure that you do a proper stakeholder mapping, and that if it's not done, it could actually mess up the advocacy efforts along the line. And at that time, not forgetting that lots of resources, a lot of effort would have been put in to make that happen. So identifying the stakeholders, knowing how to approach them, knowing how best to go about it, and knowing how to stay ethical while doing that. Then, of course, we looked at the presentation from the National Health Insurance Authority, where for many of us, which also was very glaring from the questions that they got about their efforts, ensuring that they are providing financial access to indigents, those who can't afford health care, reducing morbidity, improving outcomes, and also ensuring that they increase the numbers from 16 million to about 19 million. And of course, most of the feedback they got from here was that they need to put in more effort in terms of publicizing what they're doing so that people know that this service is available and people can take advantage of it. And then, of course, we had the role play. That was, quite expansive and self-explanatory. I'm not going to tarry much on that because we all were part of that actively. And then we had the privilege of having Dr. Aminu Megashi Garba, who took us through different kinds of partnerships that are necessary to ensure that maternal and child mortality is brought to, reduced to the barest minimum. If possible, to zero, where he talked about partnership with power, water resources. He talked about security. He talked about, something to, I won't call it little because lives have been lost on that instance. Trying to get a police report, when is it necessary, when is it necessary, when a policy is enacted in terms of partnership, how do they cascade it down to the smallest police station, maybe somewhere in Wuye, and all of that. And of course, the outcome of that was that it'll be appropriate for partners to put efforts together to seek audience with the Honorable Minister of Health and Social Welfare and see how they can push some of these things to action. And then we had the presentation on sustaining advocacy. And of course, lots of practical steps in that, lots of learnings, especially from what she told us about when she was managing the health promotion division of the Federal Ministry of Health. And one key takeaway there that we all must not forget is that it is not a sprint, it's a marathon. There'll be challenges. It could take a long while, but at every point you must stay focused on exactly what you want out of this. We also had the presentation on media, of course, where media was disaggregated into traditional media, new media, and the likes, how to approach it, how best to craft your messages, when to seek help from a professional, the stakeholders that need to be aligned with. And when I say aligned with, I'm talking about for example, if you're using traditional media like radio, TV, you look at the National Broadcasting Commission, NAFDAC, Federal Ministry of Health, and of course, a long array of stakeholders, how to ensure that your message aligns and does no harm. And then, of course, we had the panel discussion where we're able to take away a lot from what the states are already doing and what they intend to do in terms of action regarding the learnings that they've garnered from this advocacy workshop. And I think it's a very good place to hang it, having had a robust 3 days of engagement. So at this point, I have the honor and privilege to invite up to the podium my boss, the country director, National Coordinator of Rotary Action Group for Reproductive, Maternal and Child Health, Professor Emmanuel Adedolapo Lufadeju, to give a remark. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my district governors. You are the boss here. Kaude Oluwolagba for 9126, and my very good brother, Professor Noyolu, for 9142. By the way, thank you very much for your kind words. I appreciate that. I will sleep very well tonight, knowing that somebody feels so great about what we do here. We are winding down, and the first is to actually express great gratitude to our sitting trustee. You know, there are not many in the world. And from the day we started up till we are finishing now, do you notice she has been on the seat? Yesterday we went into a marathon meeting and we didn't leave until about 8 o'clock after everybody had left. Pierre, trustee, thank you very much. My past RI vice president is a great advisor, a wonderful brother, was also here. He had an urgent call and that's why he left. Otherwise, he's also the type of person who will see through this type of occasions. I want to thank very much the Senior Special Advisor to Our Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on the person of Mrs. Salma Anas Ibrahim, a wonderful lady. For those of you who do not know her, I don't know how to explain or express the type of person she is. I've been privileged to work with her now for about 5 years on this project and other projects. She's a great innovator, a futuristic person, somebody who looks ahead. She's very quiet. She doesn't say much, but in her head, there are so many things that, as she was here for about a few hours on Tuesday, we have talked about a lot of things and things that we need to do together even in the next a few months. She has kept Fatima, our technical officer, Dr. Fatima, she has kept her here to make sure that that office is well represented. Please express our gratitude to her and we give her a round of applause. Before she went into the presidency, she was the director of family health in the Ministry of Finance. And then she was transferred to Department of, I think it was Hospital Services. And from there, she was moved for the presidency as the right-hand man of the president on health issues. Major activities now is actually advocacy at the regional level. And she's doing it with all her might and enthusiasm. And when she speaks, it's very easy for you to follow her and you get convinced with her. She's a wonderful woman. So I have a friend here, Dr. Layi Jayola, who is the technical director at TA Connect. TA Connect is a holding factory for Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, if I can put it like that. And about 2 months ago, I whispered into his ears, I say, I want us to collaborate on this issue so that we will have some strength in the activities and especially moving forward. Because with TA Connect, there is opportunity to move forward with this. Because we can put up some kind of proposals and activities at the various states. They are working mostly in Kano and Kaduna. Unfortunately, their representatives could not come. But we are going to send this message to them. They are going to get every package that we have prepared here. And Dr. Lai and myself will discuss in future methods of moving forward and making sure that this program is not lost in terms of advancement. Having said that, I want to be very, very grateful to my state my zone coordinators. You know, because of the nature of the program, half of them are active. They are all active, but half are facilitated, the other half are not. And I keep promising that if we continue to have occasions like this and we have reports like this, it won't be long before we spread this to other parts of Nigeria, and they will be in charge by the grace of God, because they are hardworking, they are persevering. We have done a project before together, which was National Family Planning Campaign. That program was adjudged one of the most, in the midst of COVID. They were doing training, they were doing community dialogue in their various zones. They were training nurses, training providers, they were conducting meetings, they were training medical record officers, they were training monitoring and evaluation officers of local government. They were doing it all. They do all the logistics. They provided hotel, they seek for government's assistance, they seek for support of the state governments in the various states where they are operating. I have never seen a team that is more dedicated than that. Please help me to give them a round of applause. So one of the apprehension I expressed to the Rotary Foundation is that these people, these 6 people that have started with us and they are working, so how do we carry them along in this project? They told me, okay, wait, when we get to the level of replication, they will begin to get involved. But I didn't wait for that. Anytime we have opportunity to do anything that we can spare some funds, I do invite them to come. And if there are materials and equipment that we are distributing, I pass a few to them to give to their various zones. So also, we have in every state of the country what we call a state coordinator. The state coordinators, please stand up. There are 3 of them are here. Dr. Ibitoye is for Ekiti State. Is he here? Please stand up. Please help me to give him a round of applause. There is also Dr. Dantata. Dantata is not here? Oh my God. Dantata is the permanent secretary for the Ministry of Local Government in Gombe State. You can see how well placed he is. Anytime I come to Gombe, I have a car and a driver. And it takes me to open doors, even to the governor, to the commissioners, to everywhere. We go together. So also, where is Dan? Nasarawa? Is he here? Please, where is he? Okay, all right, please. Those are the 3 of them who are here. Thank you very much for your support. I looked around and I see the permanent secretary of Nasarawa State. I don't know whether he's still here. He was please, Rankaide, can you stand up for recognition? That's the permanent secretary for the Ministry of Health in Nasarawa State. And you can imagine what he has left behind to come and sit with us because of his interest. God selected for us those states where we are working. The state governments are already adopting some of the things we are doing. They are already adopting it and putting it in their 2025 budget. Community dialogue, extended outreach, medical outreaches, and all these other aspects that has to do with community. They are already adopting them already, based on our template. I must also tell you that even the other program of scale in Zambia and Egypt, from all the meetings that we have quarterly, every of our methodology they have adopted. In fact, the program manager of Together for Healthy Families in Nigeria is the chairman of that conglomerate of technical officers to run of the program of scale. I understand the fourth one is now in India, so they will join the team. So program of scale recipients are forming a team, and we are sharing experiences and making sure that what is good for you, I will try it in my place. In Egypt, they said they don't know what to use, what is community dialogue, that they are going to really try it. Community dialogue is a very wonderful way to express awareness, to spread information in the community. Now, you can imagine how wonderful our lecturers have been. Please give them again in absentia a big round of applause. From the Federal Ministry of Health, Dr. Samuel Oyeniyi, and the team. You just listen to Mrs. Ayegbusi, my I can't say my wife is here. So don't put me in trouble. So these are the people we work with, and every time we knock on their doors, they open these doors for us. And it's very wonderful to work with them. Again, looking at the presidency, Dr. Aminu, Dr. Fatima, we are now family, and we are working together, just like Lai Jayola and TA Connect. We form a team. We form an advocacy team. Magashi has already said it. I'm going to nominate people into that advocacy team to engage the Honorable Minister in policy, how to keep our policy constant without changing. Even if we change, it should be an addition to what already exists, not obliteration. That is the message. And that's part of the things we have learned from this meeting. Please, I thank our lecturers. I thank all the people who have served us. My staff in the RMCH, Toyosi, Dong, Mary, Damilola, Greg, this man here, Afolabi, Bumi, and many others. Our midwives, we have midwives in every state. They are not here. Are they here? Please, can you come and get a recognition and take a bow. All the midwives in all our project states, please come up. How many of you? Please come together. Mrs. Ashonibare, Mrs. Acheze, Ruth Ali. Where is Anatu? Anatu went out. Esther. These are the people who make it happen at the state level. When you please face the crowd, face the audience and take a bow, or you kneel, or whatever you want to do. Please, these are the people. They are very experienced. None of them has less than 20 years experience in maternal and child care from their various states. Thank you very much for your service. I appreciate you. I hope I have not missed anybody. There's one person that I will go to, but I just want to make sure that I have not missed anybody. Let me just thank everybody for their participation, for coming. And when we call upon you next time, please come. There is one lady here who, if I don't recognize her this afternoon, I will have to sleep in a separate room. And that is past Assistant Governor, Stella Lufadeju. She's the one who takes care of the engine that I have, and she makes sure that the engine is oiled all the time. Please help me to give her another round of applause. So I can sleep. I can sleep very well. I can sleep very well tonight. Now, I want to thank all our participants from Gombe. Can you please stand up? Everybody from Gombe, stand up for recognition. Gombe team. Thank you very much. Please give them a round of applause. Everybody from Nasarawa State, please stand up. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Everybody from Ekiti State, can you be upstanding? Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much. And everybody from the FCT. How many people from FCT? Okay, thank you very much. You are very welcome. And I thank you very much for your activities in the field. We thank God that it has gone smoothly. I want to wish you all the best as you travel home. You meet home safely. And the work has just begun. Because advocacy is the first step in letting people know what we are doing. You have heard my governors speak. My governors are talking the truth, that because of the nature of our job, of this particular project, we don't have too many platforms to access information. But now we have created so many. DJ Olagba is going to feature me in the next district meeting. I think it's November 30 or so. I'm looking forward to sharing our experiences with the other members of the district. So also, I believe before Professor Nonyelu leaves, he's going to give me a date, 1 hour, for a Zoom call in the district so that we can sensitize the entire district. I'm going to make sure that the proceedings of this workshop is distributed online to everybody to see. And okay, that's Toyosi. Can you please come and take a bow? That's the program manager, Toyosi Adebambo. He's a data man, but he works very hard. Sometimes I tell him, can you please reduce the pace at which you work? Because so that you don't break down. Yeah. So, thank you, everybody. Wish you a safe journey home. And to conclude and close this event, it's only fair and respectful. Oh, is Health Promotion still here? From the Federal Ministry of Health, Director of Health Promotion. Where is she? Can you please stand up, madam? I am sorry. Yeah. That is the lady that organized the drama. So the storytelling. We are going to make sure that we come and learn more from you. This is just the first lesson. There is on the partner. There is a second lesson coming. So you expect us to take the second course. We have taken the first course, we'll take the second course at the appropriate time. We shall invite you. Thank you very much. As I was saying, it's very appropriate for me to call upon the Rotary Foundation is the engine of Rotary. Every penny that we are spending here is provided by the Rotary Foundation. And we have a voice in the Rotary Foundation in the person of Pearl Ijoma Okoro. She's going to give a comment and then close the workshop, and then we will go for lunch. And then from then on, there will be music. If you want to dance, please shake your body. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. And thank you, everyone. I've spoken this afternoon. I think you've made my job easier because I don't have to go through thanking people. I think everybody has been thanked. Okay. Thank you. So, it's been, is it 3 days or 4 days? Mine is 4 days because I got into town on Monday. It's been 4 days of extraordinary learning. So put your hands together for all of yourselves. I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you all for the interest that you've demonstrated in the course of this event. Don't mind the fact that the seats are not filled. The caliber of people that we brought here couldn't have stayed here tit to tit from the first minute to the last minute because of callings that are also somehow related to what we're doing here. So I want to thank all of them in absentia. The district governors, you are awesome. I'm happy with your renewed strength, with your renewed mindset. I'm happy that you're going to leave here more informed and more energized to tell the good story. When I was appointed as trustee of the Rotary Foundation, I knew it wasn't going to be an easy task, but unfortunately, I didn't know it was going to be as tasking as it is. But sitting in a meeting, in a gathering, each time I sit in the trustees meeting, and I noticed that I am the only person of color. That's what they call us, the black person. I see they don't have color. It doesn't put fear in me. For those of you that know me, I'm not one person you can suppress. But I am more determined to make sure that the people of color make statements, very bold statements there. Usually when we finish the trustees meeting, they end it with a joint meeting of trustees and directors. So when they also gather, I'll find myself amidst over 40 people, and I'll also become the only person of color. And I'm again more determined to ensure that no person of color is suppressed. So when somebody said, I've sat here from morning, from the beginning of the program till now, I am collecting my bragging rights. I am collecting my guts. I am collecting, the strength that I will use to stand and face those people. I am so proud of what you people are doing. Prof and team, thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you for this opportunity to let people know what you're doing. Even the good book records it that you cannot light a candle and put it under the table. It's not done. So what you've actually done now is not just to light the candle, but remove the table completely so that the light can shine and shine again. Thank you so much. All the coordinators representing the geopolitical zones of Nigeria, the past district governors, I see you seated on the table with ardent interest. It's not just that you're here, you have been here. There's a difference between somebody attending an event and attending an event. At the time, I was really feeling bad that the internet was not friendly. But God said for every situation you thank him. So probably it's good because he has kept all of us on our toes. He has fixed all of us to our seats. We are not distracted by mails and internet and all that. So everybody has been glued. So I also want to thank the climate change for providing this enabling environment. The presidency. Sometimes I struggle to find the words to say. I struggle to thank the presidency. But I think today they've earned it. Thank you, the presidency. Thank you for partnering with Rotary and TA Connect to organize this advocacy workshop. Those of the Rotarians here who know me and my passion for the Rotary Foundation knows that once I pick up the mic, I ask people to start donating. But since I assumed duty as a trustee, it has changed. Because I realized that people don't know enough about the workings of the Rotary Foundation. For us in Rotary, people know us with polio. But I tell you, we do far, far, far more beyond polio. It's just that we are determined to ensure that polio is eradicated from the face of the earth. But even in going to do polio, we are going to take about few cents to drop the 2 drops into the mouth of a child. But in going to drop those 2 cents, that will take less than 60 cents. We are asked to bring on like 2 million, 3 million for other interventions. The reason why it's called Polio Plus, before we can drop the 60 cents. So who will say that we are only doing polio? We do far more than polio. So I am totally impressed that this is advocacy, because this aligns with my resolution when I became trustee, that everybody will know what the Rotary Foundation is doing. We have done so much. We are doing so much in this country alone. It's just that Rotary didn't start by putting their signages in every project we've done. But you may just start asking questions. You find out the water near you, the environment that is being taken care of, the little children that are able to go to school, the children that are off the streets, those rolling with skateboards and wheelchairs and all that you see less of, are all interventions done by the Rotary Foundation. So as I finish thanking the presidency and of course the people of Nigeria, Nigeria as a whole, because if Nigeria doesn't give us the enabling environment, we cannot do those things. In Afghanistan and Pakistan, we're finding it difficult to go drop the vaccines. So if we don't have the enabling environment in this country, we'll be unable to do all these things that we're doing. So I thank the Nigerian government for being here, and I thank Rotary for their commitment, not just from 1905, but since 1917 through the Rotary Foundation. We are very, very grateful for everything that you're doing. We are convinced that yes, the problems, the challenges in the whole world, quite enormous. But like I always tell people, as long as these challenges exist, Rotary and Rotarians will remain very, very relevant. And that brings me to my concluding part. There are 3 things I expect from this advocacy workshop. Of course, that the whole world, not just Nigeria, will know more about what we are doing in the Rotary Foundation. But that all those people who have been standing here thanking Rotary, recognizing the works we're doing, will realize that 1.2 million people in the world is not enough to attack the challenges of the world. Nigeria is going through a lot. There's hardly any Nigerian that is not gnashing their teeth. Like the popular palace, they say the rich also cry. I think the rich, they're even crying more than the poor at the moment. So I want to see if through this event, we are going to get more people into the Rotary fold to join us as Rotarians. Dr. Lillian is out. Dr. Lillian is already a Rotarian. I've assigned her to a club. And I'm also hoping that those of us who have said, thank you, Rotary, would deem it fit. Our coordinators, our representatives, please find a Rotary club around you and join hands. We need to do more. That should be top on this advocacy. For our public image, like I said in my first day, I love the fact that everybody that spoke thanked Rotary. Please thank Rotary beyond those 4 walls. When you go out, speak, find an opportunity to speak about the things that Rotary is doing. All these Rotarians, past district governors, current governors, none of them is paid. Highly placed in the society, they've left their works in the past 4 days to be here. They do not earn a token. There is no allowance attached to their portfolios. They're just here because they've sworn that no child will die for lack of care from childbirth to they get to maturity. So join us to speak the good works and all that. Then lastly, the Rotary Foundation will not be standing here and doing all those things if we don't have people supporting it. No amount is too small. It gives you that sense of fulfillment that you're part of something big. So should you find any club or should you find any Rotarian asking you to donate, please don't shrink. No amount is too small. Remember I said 60 cents a child is immunized. We've been here talking about children and children and children. Ensure that you drop something and, beat your heart. Those who give never lack. The more you give, the more you get. And at this point, where it looks like the country is sinking, we all need God's intervention. And the sure way to get that intervention is, if you permit me to quote the Holy Book again, it says, whosoever, whatsoever you do to the least of my brothers, that you do unto me. So if you use the Rotary Foundation, the Rotary as a platform to do it to the least of us people, leave the rest to God. It is not of he that runneth. It is about the Almighty up there that shows us mercy. So once again, thank you for being here. You've already been wished Johnny Messrs. Let me tell you something. Nothing will happen to you as you go back. Inside here, I've read about a near miss of Air Peace, a near miss of Lufthansa. I said, not when you are serving humanity. None of you will actually directly gain from these 4 days. It's the children of the world. So you cannot be serving to protect the children who are not necessarily your own children, and something will happen to you. So I look forward to reading that all of you got back to your destinations hale and hearty, finer, healthier than you came here some few days ago. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. I hope you thanked these crew members when you spoke. Did you thank them? Did they thank you? Did you thank them? Did you thank the girls on black and white that have been serving us food? Did you thank them? Thank you so much. Their manager, I want him to come on. Please come. Prof, the pin. Thank you so much. I've seen you hang out with us, determined to ensure that we got the good service. Thank you so much. Thank you for the services. I know we would have as well paid you for this and you just take a walk. But you've also extended, extended some kind of humanity in it to ensure that I see you looking at people's plates, making sure that they got the right food and that are happy. You seem to me like somebody who should belong to where we are. And I start wondering why you do not belong. It is not an association of bourgeois. It's an association of humanitarians. Huh? When next I come to this hotel, I want to see you wearing a Rotary pin. But for now, I'm going to decorate you with the pin of RMC. It's not even polio. And PDG Josh, can I please have a polio pin? This is for Professor Lufadejo Anko. This pin represents this program that we are doing. Thank you so much. The next one I'm going to give you. PDG Josh, I have polio pin in my bag. So if you just give me one, when I get down, I give it back to you. Or, get. Bad belly. Thank you. Thank you. Excellency, thank you for your pin. Huh? You won't find red in your register again. And permit me to give you, this is also a mark of excellence, is the end polio pin. This signifies our commitment to eradicate a second human disease from the face of the earth. Please don't just wear it today. I'll set some trap around you to ensure. I'm friendly with your girls here now. I'll tell them to watch out whether you wear this pin when you come. Please wear it. Thank you. Wear it with pride. God bless you. God bless you. So, my dear friends, God bless you till we meet again. Thank you.